Libraries are busier than ever before. Circulation is higher than ever, particularly audio-video materials, which often accounts for up to 50% of a public library's circulation. These same AV materials are also the most likely to be stolen. No Theft Detection System, EMRF, RFID, does much to stop real thieves. Locking security cases adds some degree of security, but for most vulnerable and valuable items, the only solution is to keep them out of reach of the public using empty cases or browser packs. This means a lot of work for staff and slower checkout, and that a higher percentage of materials are not available for self-checkout. The solution is DiscXpress II, total security that allows checkout not only by staff but also at self-checkout. Discs are stored securely, while empty cases or browser packs remain out and available to the public for browsing, as they have always done. This scalable system stores 500 to 4,000 discs. Each tower holds 5 dispensing units, each holding 100 discs. Dynamic storage means that actual capacity is increased by the average number of discs out in circulation at any time. The library determines which items go into DiscXpress II and which do not. This can be changed at any time. The triage process puts DiscXpress II to work where it's needed the most. DX2 can be used together with RF, EM, and RFID electronic security systems, as well as AV locking cases such as quick cases and one-time cases, even when the self-checkout system has the capability of patrons unlocking them themselves. Use of multiple dispensing units makes the loading and delivery of discs incredibly fast and minimizes disruption to library operations should a maintenance operation be necessary. When integrated fully into a single self-checkout station, the self-checkout process is the same as always until the end. Because DX2 is a web-based application, a DX2-enabled self-checkout station can communicate with all other computers on the library's network. That means that the discs of anything checked out at any self-checkout station or any staff station can be retrieved at the DX2-enabled self-checkout. More commonly, DX2 is set up as a central dispensing station. Materials are checked out elsewhere, and then the patron goes to the DX2 to retrieve his discs by simply scanning his patron card. Patrons who prefer to check out with staff can also do so. DX2 has a staff checkout application that works independently of the library's ILS. Because patrons do need to go to the DX2 anyway, the system naturally encourages the use of self-checkout. Libraries that prefer not to offer self-checkout but for security reasons keep discs behind the circulation desk may choose to use DX2 to speed up the retrieval process. DiscXpress II dispenses up to 5 discs simultaneously within seconds from different dispensing units. If a patron has checked out materials that include more than 5 discs, he or she simply removes the first group and then touches the screen to begin dispensing the next group of up to 5 discs. The same process applies should more than one of a patron's discs be stored in the same dispenser. DiscXpress II loads in a process similar to the way items are checked out. Here, a library staff person is loading DX2 from the same self-checkout station or central dispensing station that patrons use to get their discs. More often, staff use a laptop computer connected to the library's network on a mobile cart. The only other thing needed is a barcode scanner or an RFID antenna. Using a separate loading station allows staff to load the machine during hours that the library is open without fear that patrons will have to wait to retrieve their discs. In a barcode-based system, staff simply scan the barcode on the case. The DX2 system decides into which dispenser the disc should be placed. The LED on the individual dispenser also lights up. Staff insert the disc about halfway into the slot, at which point it is pulled automatically into the dispenser. For multi-part sets, staff scan the barcode again. To facilitate the loading process, the system can be set up to load by tower. Multiple loading stations can be used simultaneously to speed up the process. DX2 has additional advantages for libraries that are RFID enabled and that tag each disc individually. When AV materials are returned from circulation, discs can be separated from their cases. Empty cases can be taken directly to the stacks, while discs are taken on a spindle. Staff load RFID tag discs by placing them over the RFID antenna. DX2 also takes into account that human beings, whether patrons or staff, can and do make mistakes. But should a patron leave without taking all discs, after a period of time the discs are pulled back into the machine. The checkout receipt shows the exact location of the discs that have been checked out. Should it be necessary, staff have the ability to force the dispensing of a disc or discs even without a checkout. DX2 keeps a real-time log of every disc in the system, and reports can be generated and searched in multiple ways. DiscXpress II, the only way to keep valuable and vulnerable AV materials totally secure, while at the same time allowing them to be totally available for both browsing and self-checkout.